my characters, some of them are in actual b-boy poses, freezes. They're in like a top rock or footwork or whatever it is. Then there's other ones that are kind of like just posing like for the picture, like yo, boom, you know, like when we take flicks, everybody doesn't just stand there like, everybody's like yo, boom. So that's where these figures, these characters are like inspired from as well. That we pose, you know, like you might not know me, but if I'm taking a picture like that and you see me, like, okay, that dude's a b-boy. So this style of art that I'm doing, this technique, it's just one line. I've been doing that for about 5 years, 6 years. But like the figures, as far as like the b-boy poses that they're getting into, like the movements, freezes, all that, I started doing that recently. I mean, I've been drawing some type of figures and like b-boy poses, but nothing like what I'm doing now with the one line. Well, it's just one continuous line. The line will start at one point and the point travels. The whole theory behind, or the explanation behind my work is called molecular constellation. So if you notice, there's like dots in my work. And those dots represent stars. Stars give off light, lighter particles or molecules. So the molecules, they travel in the direction of the line, manifesting the image you see. When you take away the line, you're left with a constellation of molecules. So all my work is called molecular constellations. It's just like bright things, you know, like bright colors. Some people that inspire me, that I look up to, other artists, you know, slash designers, somebody like Emilio Pucci. You know, that dude, like, his palette is, he is the palette. He's the palette, so, you know, like, you know, you just see something and you're like, damn, all right, I'm gonna try this twist with it. He did these, I'm gonna do this. And you know, you just start experimenting with other colors and you start finding patterns and you're like, wow, man, you can just do so much. I get inspired from ancient art, from like indigenous art, feathers, you know, like anything that's like from the like South American, Central American, Native, all these cultures, Mayan, Olmec, Toltec, you know, Quimbaja, Muisca, Inca, all that, you know, all that inspires me. So when I see those pictures and that gold and like their pottery and all their symbols and pendants and like nose rings, and I'm just like, wow, this is amazing, man, and this is where we come from. So then I'm like, you know what, I gotta show this in my way to the people. Graph, you go paint, you throw your first sketch. When you see that's good, you start filling in, blah, 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 boom, bam. And then the final thing is the outline, you know, like just make it look nice and crisp. So same way, it's kind of like I go there, I do the one line, I step back, it's proportionate and I'm good enough, I start filling in, you know, and then when I'm filled in, done everything I gotta do, I just go back with the one line, one shot, you know. I'm familiar with people's work for sure. I mean, to be in the culture, one has to be familiar with the work from the culture, and especially the locals, you know, like you gotta know who's who, you gotta know how, you know, there's like a certain code and you gotta know who's who, and you know, like showing respect. And you know, I mean, but my style isn't, I mean, it's not graffiti, so you can't compare me to you know, like another piece, because I have my own, you know, it's my own style. So galaxy. I'm the ruler of the galaxy. I think anywhere anybody lives is a good place to do art. You gotta be, it's all about perspective, right? Here in Miami, there's a lot of artists. You gotta be able to set yourself apart from all these other artists and styles, because there's so many people that paint or that draw or do something, so you gotta have a different style. There's some people that don't evolve, or you can like move to a town that doesn't have no art, and that opportunity there is for you to shine, because you should be like one of the main artists there. So I think anywhere you go is a good opportunity, especially nowadays with like, the internet and all that and social media. You can kind of like be everywhere, so anywhere is a good place to be. But, I'm from here, I love it down here, and, there's other opportunities everywhere for sure, LA, New York, Definitely, the hip hop scene here in Miami, there's an opportunity for sure. I mean, my crew, Flipside Kings, we do our events, Fan Fest, in August, usually like the second week of August every year. It's different, of course, it's always going to be changing, like we're not the same person we were like 10 minutes ago. You know what I'm saying? So it's always changing, but there's a lot of opportunity here in Miami for a betterment of the culture. But I love it, man. There's a lot of b-boys out here, definitely got a lot of hip hop down here. People, say, oh, there's no hip hop down here, the culture's dead, or blah, blah, blah. But not really, I don't think so. We just got to get more united. But, somebody were to come here from like from out of town, and they want to go to a hip hop spot. I mean, in Wynwood area, they're starting to do like a lot of, like guest DJs with like breaks or funk, all that stuff. I would say probably Friday nights at Wynwood Yard, there's a dude named DJ Spam, and he spins like funk, everything. So, sometimes we go there, get down, and it's not like a floor where you can go get down, but you're a b-boy, you're gonna break anywhere, it don't matter where it is.
Galaxy, I'm the ruler of the galaxy. Galaxy, I'm the ruler of the galaxy.
I don't know, man. I mean, I started collecting just because I was infatuated with the culture, with like everything about it. When I was a little kid, we'd buy tapes and CDs. You kind of like open up the back and read all the thank yous and the shout outs and all that. So, that's why I collect a lot of that stuff, just to kind of read it. And, when I was younger, I would read a lot of that stuff. So, I like documenting as far as like vintage hip hop, memorabilia, anything to keep the culture alive. I can't really tell you what's been, I mean, I don't know, that's not my main avenue. Like, I do it because I have a lot of it. And I don't know, I'm only keeping the things that I want. It's not like I kind of do this like I'm a collector. I mean, yeah, but not like, I don't know, I should have more. If I was a serious collector, I'd probably have more, but I just collect what I think I need and what inspires me. Like I'm an artist, so there's hip hop books that inspires me, and then I go to the drawing table and then I start sketching up or drawing, some hip hop figures or inspired dudes or women, characters. We travel, of course. You got to travel to put the work in the culture. You got to go out there, win some. Depending how hard you train. It's not about competing really. It's more about just, being in the culture, going ciphering, support. That's what it is really, That's what it really is. It's not like I'm gonna go compete, like that's not what breaking is about. That's what I didn't start breaking because of that. You start breaking or b-boying for the love, already have a set of glyphs that don't have any enunciation, like you can't pronounce them, but they're just like glyphs that I'm gonna use. And you know, definitely I have this idea that I'm gonna, it's like a key. You gotta like refer to the key with the whole alphabet, and it tells you what the glyphs mean, what letters they are, what numbers, and then you can read the messages throughout the whole book. So yeah, I definitely do have one coming out.
Galaxy, I'm the ruler of the galaxy.
Yeah, if you want to see my work, you can go to Louiedeology.com. That's LOUIEDEOLOGY.com. My Instagram is the same, @Louiedeology. My Facebook is Louiedeology. Everything is Louiedeology. Para toda a gente, para que sepa que eu sou corintiano de coração e sou colombiano.